Hello, PBE, and welcome back to spring training for season 63. I once again am your host, professional button pusher Aria EXE, um, taking you through to the end of spring training today. Should be ending off, probably end off on the 19th. So it's just like a day of buffer since I believe opening day is always on the 20th. Um, just the end of the spring games, so we should be good there. Um, Sorry once again for the delay. Um, just got sidetracked, lost track of time working on Hall of Fame stuff. So, sorry once again, completely my bad. Let's go ahead and get things started then. Alright, so we left off on the 3rd, so we'll finish the day. No games on the 4th. So heading on to the 5th. Let's see. Where do we want to start out today? Who haven't we seen a lot of? I don't think we've watched a ton of Raptors or Crabs. Could also do Surge Vandals. Oh, Sodilan, who's your player? Surge Vandal, Dylan Woods. Here, let me, Firehawks starting pitcher. Here, let me actually take a peek. Maybe we can swing by California for... Okay, looks like in relief for now. So we'll swing by the Firehawks today, see if we can't get you on stream here. Start us off though, let's go ahead and do Surge Vandals to start the day. So Surge Vandals, Surge finished 4th in the Legends East last year. Vandals finished 3rd behind the Sloths and Raptors. I think this is the top of the pitching rotations as well. We jumping around? No, not today. Today I'll probably do 5 or 6 games today. I don't want to do like the huge jump around with the staggered games again. So yeah, Buffalo headliner still their leadoff hitter DW Dogmaple. Vancouver with a relatively young core, especially that their leadoff and 3-hole hitters Francois and Atlas Slugs. Meanwhile, the Surge also have a very strong young core, Sahor, Slamson, and Streamsong, and Simpson, really. And Cheerios, and Whoop Whoop. Very young team, Detroit, or Buffalo, rather. Detroit's actually the complete opposite. We're a very old team. Who wins game 1, Surge or Vandals? I'll give a minute or two for that prediction, and then we can get started. So how do I make a guy? Oh, uh, Bob Ross. You know the commands for that, right? So we're the Pro Baseball Experience. We are essentially a sim league. Here I can't link anything. But Bob Ross, if you don't know the commands, you can like link the portal, link the forum, things like that. And essentially, every player you see here is managed essentially by one of the users in the league, a real person. And it's kind of like a sort of RPG-like, kind of Road to the Show-esque, where you earn points through doing various tags. Yeti, the unfortunately links for non-mod users get blocked, so we just see asterisks. But yeah, you apply those points to various ratings. We put those into Out of the Park Baseball, and we sim some games. Yeah, no, you don't. No money exchanges hands. Literally, like the only things you can do with real money in this league are charity events when we put those on. That's like the main thing, and you can also support the league by subbing to the Twitch channel. But all that goes to the league. It doesn't benefit your player in any way. So it's essentially like the activity you put into the league is what you get out of it. You join a team, you join their locker room on Discord, and yeah, you kind of come for the baseball, stay for the community is a very common sentiment. And definitely my sentiment here. So yeah, very helpful people on the Discord. They can help you out, get you started with a player. You'll go through waivers to join one of our minor league teams, and then next off season you'll be drafted to a majors team. But yeah, welcome on in. Glad to have you. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with our first game of the day. Surge at Vandals. Technically not at Vandals. We're still in the spring ballpark. But anyway, be Chuck Nasty on the bump, pitching to DW Dog Maple. Dog Maple with a leadoff single put down in left field. Be Jackson Cheerios coming up next. Dog Maple does like to steal bases, though, going for it and making it safely. Throw by Barnum late. Jackson Cheerios line drive out to center field, hauled in by Jacques Jean Jr. Dog Maple held up at second base for now. Whoop whoop. Jumping play by Jackson Love. Wonderful piece of glove work there. Dog Maple making it back to second. No double play there. Sohor with 2 outs puts it on the ground up the middle. Only able to advance Dog Maple to third. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Chance to strike early for Homer Slamson. Driven high and deep to right center field. It's gone! A 3-run home run with 2 outs for Homer Slamson, the designated hitter. Buffalo takes an early 3-0 lead in this game. And a stream song will come up to bat following the dinger and swing and miss at an inside screwball. So 3-0 is the deficit now as Jacques Jean Jr. will come in. Swing, driven high and deep to left field. A leadoff home run for the center fielder. And that will cut the deficit to 2. Tenet Duds giving up a home run on the third pitch of the AB. Tried to get him swinging on the outside of the zone there and just left it too much over the plate. Rishikesh will strike out swinging. 1 out, nobody on, 4 outless slugs. Get a textbook base hit into right center. Jackson Love will strike out. Duds with the second strikeout on the day. 0-2 count. Checked swing. Bounces away from the catcher. So charge a wild pitch to Duds there. Runner on second now for Pierre Phillip. And balked. So a balk will bring slugs over to third. Pierre Phillip now with the chance to cut the deficit further. but watches the fastball blow by for strike 3. So just 1 run there despite the errors from the pitcher. Heading into the second, Buffalo leading by 2. Homer Simpson driven high, driven deep into the fountains, gone. So the 1 run in the bottom of the first now answered in the top of the second, restoring the 3-run lead. Swinging on the 3-0 count and getting all of it. Smirnoff will be walked to first, so 1 on, nobody out now for the bottom of the Surge order. It's me, Mayo, ground ball, 6-4, not going to turn 2. It's just a fielder's choice. Back to the top, Dog Maple had a single last time up, plus a stolen base, as Mio will go for a stolen base. And make it. DW Dog Maple fly ball into right, hauled in by Jet Fuel. Runner on second, 2 outs for Jackson Cheerios, who puts it down in right field. Holding up at third is Mio, not going to try and use that speed to get home. Whoop whoop, lazy fly ball into center, charging in for Jacques Jean Jr., and that is out number 3. A run on the board once again for the Surge. Can the Vandals answer back? Ashton Lansdell cuts and misses. Pumped the low outside corner of the zone. Malcolm Kell will be down on strikes. Make it 5 for duds on the day. DB Barnum, the catcher, checks his swing, didn't go around, heads to first on the walk. 9-hole hitter hit and run play, but it will be a ground out 5-3. So it'll be the top of the Vandals order up next time, but for now it'll be the 4, 5, 6 hitters coming up for Buffalo. Chuck Nasty still on the bump as coaxing a ground out from Sahur. Homer Slamson had the home run last time up. This time it is strike 3 just outside the low outside corner of the zone. Hannah Streamsong gives it a good ride into right field, but not needing to move much for it is Fuel. 1, 2, 3 down for the Surge on this occasion. Jacques Jean Jr. leads off for the Vandals. Will be grounding out to the third baseman, Streamsong. Shift on for Rishikesh, but a fly ball into center renders that moot. Make it 2 outs. Slugs up, driven into center field. Back for it is the center fielder Cheerios. 1, 2, 3 down for the Vandals, as we have a nice clean third inning on both sides. Homer Simpson not swinging on the 3-0 count this time, just heading to first. Smirnoff fly ball to right is caught for out number 1. 1 on, 1 out for Mio. Bouncing away from the catcher. Wild pitch charge to Chuck Nasty. Puts a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Mio, hard hit to first, taken unassisted by Slugs. Puts a runner on third. Back to the top for the Surge. 1 for 2 thus far for Dog Maple. Make it 1 for 3. Chuck Nasty with the cutter sits him down. Bottom of the fourth now. Jackson Love stands in. Ground ball to short will be out number 1. Pierre Phillip on the 3-0 takes ball 4. Lansdale up, watching Phillip go for second and make it. Stolen base number 8 for Phillip in the spring training. Make it stolen base number 9 as he successfully steals third. So runner on third, 1 out now for Ashton Lansdale. Ball 4 inside. Runners on the corners now. Malcolm Kell coming up, batting .250 thus far. Slow roller over to second. No play made at first. Make that an RBI infield hit for Malcolm Kell. 2 on, 1 out for DB Barnum. Make it bases loaded, 1 out following the walk from duds for the 9-hole hitter Jet Fuel. Line drive into center. Is it deep enough? It will score. Lansdale from third. Mark it a sac fly for Fuel and make it a 4-3 ball game as Vancouver now draws within 1. Jacques Jean Jr. line drive hauled in by the first baseman Sahur. It's a 1-run game as we head into the 5th inning. The 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up for the Surge. Nasty still on the bump. A line drive up the middle is a base hit for Jackson Cheerios. Whoop Whoop will watch as Cheerios tries but fails to steal second. Cannon arm from Barnum on this occasion, erasing the base runner. Whoop down on strikes. Can't find the cutter in the heart of the zone. Sahur, ground ball to short, thrown over to first by Lansdell, and that will retire the side. 4-3 in favor of the Surge here with the 2-3-4 hitters coming up for the Vandals. Rishikesh grounding out to first. Tried to hit it away from the shift, but instead will be taken unassisted by Sahur. Slugs, once again an unassisted ground out to Sahur. Slugs hitting it directly to his counterpart. Jackson Love, the Vandals just pumping the right side of the infield with ground balls in the bottom of the fifth. Surge will come up facing Jackson Ramirez now. Slamson gives it a good ride, high and deep to right field. It is gone! A second home run on the day for Homer Slamson, and that will re-extend the Buffalo lead to 2. And a stream song cuts and misses on the Ramirez sinker. First strikeout of the day, 10th of spring for the newly called up rookie. And it looks like the shortstop there, Lansdell, can't find the pop-up in shallow left, and that'll be a base hit for Homer Simpson. Smirnoff puts it on the ground up the middle. That'll be 2 on with 1 out now for It's Me Mayo. Line drive out to center, hauled in by Jacques Jean Jr. 2 outs, 2 on for Dog Maple. 1 for 3 on the day, 1 for 4 on the day as Ramirez strikes him out. Bottom of the 6th now. Vancouver once again in a 2-run hole. Pierre Phillip leading off against Lieutenant Dud still. Past the diving second baseman, that will be a base hit. Lansdale coming up, had that lapse in judgment in the field, wasn't charged as an error, but still cost some base runners. Stolen base for Pierre Phillip, number 10 in spring. Lansdale puts it out into right center field and has a double, scoring Phillip from second. So a good piece of hitting and showing some wheels, Lansdale. Drawing Vancouver back within 1. Out into the gap for Malcolm Kell. That's going to score the run from second as Kell has back-to-back doubles now for the Vandals, and we're tied at 5. We are tied at 5 in the bottom of the 6th. No outs, runner on second. Chance for Vancouver to take the lead. Facing off against cybernetically enhanced Robo-Dibble now, issuing a 4-pitch walk to DB Barnum. Jet Fuel coming up. Slow roller over to second. They'll take the fielder's choice at second base. It'll be runners on the corners now with 1 out for Jacques Jean Jr. Attempted steal of second for Fuel. He'll make it, so runners now in scoring position for the center fielder. Long fly ball to left. Coming from third is Kell. The Vancouver Vandals take the lead on the sac fly from Jacques Jean Jr. 6-5 now in favor of the Vandals. Rishikesh taps a slow roller over to third, and the play is made. So the Surge now with some work to do as we head to the back third of the game. Jackson Cheerios up, high and deep into right field. It's gone. We're back tied at 6. Jackson Cheerios, 1 swing of the bat, and we have a brand new game. No outs, nobody on following the home run. Whoop Whoop pops it up into foul territory. Therefore, it is the first baseman Slugs. Sahur, ground ball past the shortstop for a single. 1 out, 1 on now for Homer Slamson. 2 home runs already today. Checks his swing for ball 4. 2 on now. Buffalo threatening to retake the lead now with Hannah Streamsong at the plate. Swings and misses. Strikeout number 3 for Streamsong. Skuma getting a strikeout there, and then striking out Homer Simpson as well, getting out of the jam. Through the stretch to the bottom of the 7th, Atlas Slugs hitting into the shift for out number 1. Jackson Love, fly ball to right, is caught. 2 outs, full count. Very long plate appearance as Pierre Phillip just fouls off a bunch of pitches, finally puts the 11th in play for a base hit. Lansdale watches as Phillip collects stolen base number 11 through 13 games of spring training. Sophia Mondragon will enter for the Surge and coax a ground out from Lansdale. Through 7, we're tied at 6. 2 innings left in this one. Holly Sheet will enter for the Vandals. Get a high pop-up from Samir Knopf for out number 1. It's me, Mio. Hard line drive into the left center field gap. That'll go for extra bases. Will we go for 3? He will not. Sliding into second. A double with 1 out brings back the top of the order. DW Dog Maple watches as Mio goes for third. Make it essentially a triple as stealing a base to be the go-ahead run 90 feet from home. Dog Maple, good ride into the corner. Doesn't quite have enough to get over the wall, but it'll still be an RBI double, restoring the Surge lead to 1. Jackson Cheerios swings and misses. Holly Sheet collects a strikeout. Whoop whoop on the ground over to short. That will be out number 3 as Lansdale is able to make the play. Vancouver now with work to do once again. We've had a very nice back and forth game here. Kell grounds out unassisted to Suhor at first. DB Barnum can't find the cutter from Sophia Mondragon. That'll be out number 2. Jet Fuel keep this bottom of the 8th inning alive. Ground ball up the middle for a base hit. Jacques Jean Jr. well struck into left field, but handled by Whoop Whoop. Heading into the 9th, the Surge looking for insurance runs. First baseman Tung 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 Sahor watches one nicely in the top of the zone by Jackson Kidd. Popped up by Slamson for out number 2. 2 outs, nobody on for Hannah Streamsong. Finds the gap. Opposite field hit for Hannah Streamsong. That'll be a stand-up double. Possible 2-out rally. Let's see what Homer Simpson can do. It has a home run on the day already. Swings and misses. Bounces away from Barnum, but able to get on top of it before Streamsong can advance. Simpson will swing and miss for strike 3. Last chance now for the Vandals. They'll have Akshay Rishikesh, Atlas Slugs, and Jackson Love coming up. A bird will enter to try and hang on to the lead. Rishikesh going for 2 and making it. So a leadoff double representing the tying run in scoring position. Akshay Rishikesh, Atlas Slugs standing in. Pulls it over the heads of the infielders. That will move the tying run to third. Put the winning run on first. Jackson Love, chance to be the hero. He'll put it down in left field. That will tie the ball game. An RBI single. We're knotted up at 7. Will we see extras, or will Vancouver end it here? They've got 2 on with nobody out. And a very tired bird infield fly as it is popped up directly in front of the catcher. Ashton Lansdell puts it down in right. The runner's having to check up, though, so that'll load up the bases. The winning run 90 feet from home for Malcolm Kell, already a hero earlier today, will strike out on this occasion as Barto Ocolon enters to try and escape the jam. Can DB Barnum do it? Over the head of the third baseman, a bloop single will win the game for the Vancouver Vandals, 8-7. A wild game. Look at the win probability graph. I'm pretty sure I've seen something like that at Six Flags. I'm just saying. Your player of the game, Homer Slamson. The win going to Jackson Kidd. A bird taking the loss and the blown save there. And yeah. Quick whip around for the rest of the league. The Raptors winning 12-8, courtesy of a 9-run top of the 8th. Izzo the win, Iceman the loss, Gautier the player of the game. Voyagers will win 8-2, Evil Dictator the win, Holiday the loss, and definitely not Evil Dictator the player of the game there. The Pathfinders win 5-3 over the Sloths, Boone the win, Erickson the loss, Reedham the save, and Chad Inningseater the player of the game. We watched Vandals surge. Demons pick up a victory over the Toros to improve to 6-7. Pythagoras the win. Cowgill the loss. Meredith gets player of the game honors. The Stars in a close victory over the Sea Serpents. Kingdom the win, Needfelt the loss, Dubois the save, and Song player of the game. The Apex 10-6 victory over the Scorpions. Smidius the win, Vado the loss, Goldberg the player of the game. The Space Rangers shutting out the Rougarous. Express the win, Eshelman the loss, and Express the player of the game. Heading down to the minor league, the Dillos need extras to overcome the Ranas in a defensive battle. Hightower the win, and Edgecombe the player of the game. The Wheelers will win 3-2 over Kansas City. Nurple gets the win, Jakob Jingleheimer Schmidt the loss. Summers the save, Matt Buster the player of the game. The Flamingos win 8-1 to over the Kingpins. Kennedy Seenan the win, wins the loss, and Batty is the player of the game. I am very tongue-twisted right now. Excuse me. The Firehawks win 5-1 over the Bruce City Bears. Dude Man the win, Zensky the loss, Dude Man the player of the game. And to end the day, the Swift Steeds shutting out the Lemurs 5-0. Person the win, King the loss, Man Person your player of the game. Go ahead and save here. I have a minor stroke. Nah, I just twisted up my tongue a little bit. Right. The 6th. Let's just quick play the 6th. So we'll go one by one here, just going quickly through some of these games here. I'm pretty sure, actually, what is the last day of, should just be able to check the schedule. Last day of spring training is the 16th. Okay, so we've got 11 more games to go through here. So let's do a couple quick sims, and then, you know what, we are looking to see, who haven't we seen much of? I don't think we've really seen the Dillos much. I think we watched a Florida game. I actually don't think we did. Yeah, okay, here's what we'll do then. We will quick sim today. There was promise for Cali as well. Yes. So we'll quick sim today, and then we will watch the California-Florida game on the 7th. So let's go ahead and get these quick sims started. The Voyagers will defeat the Raptors 7-4. Crockwell to win. Vaseline the loss. Crockwell the player of the game. The Sloths 7-1 over the Surge. Horrendous Haddock the win. Smith the loss. Horrendous Haddock the third player of the game. Crabs shutting out the Pathfinders, scoring 4 over 4 innings. Pebbles the win. Mixon the loss. Pebbles the player of the game honors. Exciting extra innings game between the Aviators and the Vandals. The Vandals eventually coming out on top, walking it off in the 12th. 10-9. Ramirez the win. Martina the loss. Ashton Lansdale player of the game. The Demons improving to 500, 4-3 over the Rougarous. McGoatface the win. Manzer the loss. Lepovar the save. Goatface the player of the game. The Apex draw even with the Stars 6-2. Quads the win, Con the loss, Flop Quads your player of the game. Lunar Base 6-3 to defeat the Sea Serpents. Etef the win, Richards the loss, Brant the save, Polly Wag your player of the game there. The Toros improved to 9-5 by defeating the Scorpions 8-1. Smuts the win, Rossi the loss, Solo the player of the game. Down to the minor league. The Flamingos improved to 500 2-1 victory over the Wheelers. Puck the win, Rosado the loss, Spungus the save, Knuckle Puck the player of the game. Bruce City wins a close one over Louisville, 8-7. Fordham the win, DeHeater the loss, Sendai the save, O'Shaughnessy the player of the game. Be the Firehawks with winning the pitcher's duel against the Hepcats. Keelhauler the win, Nutting the loss, Armbandor the save. Keelhauler, your player of the game there. Kingpins will defeat the Dillos 6-2. Time the win, Quaz the loss. Showtime, I believe that's Showtime Jones? Yes, player of the game. And finally, the Iranas winning 12-9 over the Swifties. Tatosol taking the loss there. Fate of Ophelia getting player of the game in the losing effort. All right, and moving into the 7th, we will head to this game right here. So who do we have here? Massive Unit, I believe 4th year starter now for the Firehawks. Miles Tremonti, rookie pitcher for the Flamingos. Let's see. I think a lot of these... Yeah, the Firehawks starting lineup, I believe, are all returning veterans. Oh no! Ethan Voss is a rookie, but a lot of second and third year players as well. For the Mingos, Dan Thunder returning, Peyton Shoelace second year, Johnny Golden second year. Yeah, a lot of returning players for the Flamingos. All right. Next live game have 17.5 plus hits. I think I gotta put 250 on the smashed balls. The thing about spring training is that it's kind of a gauntlet of games. It's 24 games in 25 days. And there's not like you just take your usual lineup into it, so there's not a lot of off days for the pitchers to get rest. So they tend to tire out quickly. Once we get closer to the end of this stream, you'll start seeing a lot of the hitters are actually getting tired by the end as well. So I think at this point I would put my money on this being over. Of course, no guarantee, but I would expect it to be over. All right. 20 more seconds. All right, let's get things started. It'll be Massive Unit taking the mound against Dan Thunder leading off for the Flamingos. Dan Thunder will be sat down. Massive Unit blown a 99-mile-an-hour fastball by him. Miles Phoenix. Screwball catches the inside of the zone for another strikeout. And driven into the left center field gap, Peyton Shoelace with the 2-out double. Now runner in scoring position. A well-struck single from Golden may actually score him now. So it'll be a line drive hit right to Menard for the 3rd out. Ashton Fox will lead off against Miles Tremonti. Ground ball down the first base line. Not able to make the play in time. Ashton Fox with an infield hit to lead off the bottom of the 1st. Menard, a slow roller over toward 3rd, will be a ground out, advancing the runner. Ashcroft walked over to 1st, the double play now in order. Ethan Voss will watch as the double steal is called for, and both runners will make it safely. So in scoring position now with just 1 out. Voss ground ball over towards 2nd, but that will be enough to get a ground out RBI. California strikes first, 1-0 still with the runner on 3rd for Slim Mahogany. Over the head of the 3rd baseman, an RBI single for the left fielder. California now up 2-0. Matt Gamble will watch as Mahogany goes for 2nd and makes it. A bit of a rainbow throw there from Schott. Gamble pop fly into center field will be out number 3, but they strike first. It's a 2-run hole for Florida to try and climb out of already. Sean Spencer, leading off the top of the 2nd, will be struck out by Massive Unit. Lionel McScallywags gives it a good ride high and deep to left field. It is gone! Florida cutting that lead in half with 1 swing of the bat from their designated hitter. Yep, to Darius Maxwell. Watches strike 3 go by. Massive unit working that fastball today. Moonshot up, well struck to the left, but under it is the left fielder Mahogany for the third out. We're through 1.5, heading to the bottom of the second. The Firehawks have the bottom of their order coming up. Strike 3, Tremonti gets his first strikeout of the day. Willard Bachman now in the box will get a gapper into left center for a double. So runner in scoring position now. Firehawks looking to answer back, restore 2-run lead. Can Theodore Batsmith be their guy? He'll draw a walk on 4 pitches. 2 on now with 1 out for the top of their order. Ashton Fox last time up had, I believe that was an infield hit to lead it off. This time a fly ball into left is handled by Shoelace. 2 on 2 outs for Menard. Fly ball into center is caught by Batty, and that will retire the side. Heading into the top of the third now. Ozzie Batty, who just made that put out, will put it on the ground to shortstop and be thrown out at first. To the top for the Flamingos. Dan Thunder gives it a good ride, but it'll fall just shy of the track into the glove of Mahogany. Miles Phoenix, ground ball towards second. Making the play is Bachman. 1-2-3 down for the Flamingos on this occasion. Can California extend their lead now? Ashcroft, the heart of the the Firehawk order coming up. Ashcroft gives a good ride to his counterpart, but falls into Golden's glove. Ethan Voss, slow roller back toward the pitcher, able to toss it over to first for the second out. Mahogany getting a walk on the full count there. 2 outs, 1 on for Matt Gamble. A lazy flyer into right will be the end of the third inning. We're through the first 1/3 of this game. Firehawks leading 2-1 over the Flamingos. Heart of the Flamingo order coming up, though. Massive unit gets a flyout from Peyton Shoelace. James Golden, well struck to right field. It is into the fountains and gone. Florida tying this ball game up with a Johnny Golden home run. So we got a brand new ball game with 1 out in the top of the 4th. Sean Spencer, ground ball to third, will be scored a 5-3 put out. Scallywags has a home run already today and winds up going 2 for 2, putting 1 down in right field. Darius Maxwell, ground ball to second, flip to first to retire the side, but we're tied at 2, heading into the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the order up for the Firehawks. Watching the fastball catch the bottom of the zone for strike 3. Willard Bachman past the diving second baseman for a base hit. Miles Phoenix couldn't find the handle on that one. Theodore Batsmith, ground ball up the middle, will put 2 on now with 1 out as we head back to the top of the Firehawk order. Ashton Fox, a 5-3 ground out. Didn't step on the third base bag. No. So runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Rusty Menard on the ground to Maxwell, who takes it to the bag himself. So we're through 4 now into the 5th inning. Moonshot still facing off against Massive Unit and not able to find the changeup. Ozzie Batty checks a swing and is awarded first base. Bill Ryder will enter for the Flamingos pinch hitting. Grounds into a fielder's choice. Miles Phoenix drives it into the left center field gap. That'll be extra bases. Rounding third is Ryder. Will he make it? He will! Florida retakes the lead in the top of the 5th, courtesy of the Miles Phoenix double. Peyton Shoelace watches this one get away from the catcher Dwal Ling. Scored a wild pitch for Massive Unit and put the runner on third. Shoelace heads to first on the 4th ball. Youngwoo Jun will enter and allow a ground ball single by Johnny Golden. Will take second on the throw to third. So we got runners in scoring position still for the Flamingos, now leading this game by 2. Sean Spencer, line drive into right field, will fall into the glove of Ethan Ashcroft. But they have a 2-run lead once again. Heart of the Firehawk order. Ashcroft draws a walk from Tremonti. Ethan Voss on the ground. 5-4-3 double play. So that lead runner erased. Now 2 outs with nobody on for Slim Mahogany, the left fielder. Nice piece of opposite field hitting there for a single. Then Matt Gamble gives it a ride high and deep to right field. We're back tied. It's a 4-4 game. Matt Gamble, the home run into right field. We're tied at 4. Dwal Ing will keep things going for the Firehawks, but it'll be a fly out into left. Likely the last we'll see of Tremonti in this game. Gurry Cap will pitch for the Firehawks as Lionel McScallywags will fly out to right. Darius Maxwell, slow roller, the second baseman charging all the way in for that and flipping it to first. Nice play there by Bachman. Moonshot, it's high. Is it deep? It is gone! Into the fountains, and Florida once again taking the lead. This time Moonshot hitting, well, a moonshot. Ozzy Batty coming up, line drive. Nice play by Slim Mahogany out there. Good range for that. But we head to the bottom of the 6th. Florida once again leads. Willard Bachman will face off against Hank the Bot. And we'll have a single, the tying run on base for the Firehawks. Theodore Batsmith, a 4-pitch walk from Hank. Ashton Fox, ground ball up the middle, rounding third is Bachman, and that'll tie the ball game. So quickly answering back now with 2 on and nobody out. California looks in the box seat to take their first lead of this game. Nard 6-4. No, not 6-4. It is an error. Charged the error to the shortstop, Sean Spencer. It's now bases loaded with nobody out. Ethan Ashcroft coming up to the plate. Swings and misses at the high outside curve for strike 3. Ethan Voss pulls it into right. It'll be a station-to-station single. California takes the lead. Ethan Voss, the RBI single. Slim Mahogany, ground ball infield in. They'll get the fielder's choice at home, but not going to get it at first. So 2 outs now with bases loaded, preventing another run from scoring. Hit and run play. Gamble taps it back to the pitcher. Not able to get anything else going, but the Firehawks in the lead now, 6-5. Top of the order for the Flamingos. Joe Calloway pitching for California now. Ryder will be aboard with a base hit. Phoenix walked over to first. The tying run now in scoring position for the Flamingos. Peyton Shoelace coming up. Popped high in the air and falls into the glove, I believe the second baseman. Infield fly rule called there. Johnny Golden, ground ball, 6-4-3, double play will retire the side. So California lets some base runners on early, but not going to pay for it. St. Pete will enter to pitch for the Flamingos, issuing a leadoff walk to the catcher Dwalling. Bachman will also be walked on 4 pitches, so a pair of base runners on now for the Firehawks. Batsmith, first pitch swinging, puts it down in left field. Rounding third is Ing, and making it, extending the Firehawk lead to 2. 2 on, nobody out for the top of the order now. Ashton Fox, a bloop single, will load up the bases with nobody out. Gee, we've seen this before, haven't we? Rusty Menard will watch strike 3 go by for the first out of the inning. Ethan Ashcroft up. Fly ball into shallow center isn't enough to score the run. Can the Firehawks get anything going with these bases loaded? Ethan Voss driven to the left center gap. That'll score 1. That'll score 2. Will it score the third? A bases clearing double for the first baseman, Ethan Voss. And that puts this game quite out of reach. But we've seen crazier happen. Florida could bring it back yet. Jimmy Key Largo will enter to try and get the last out of this inning. Issues a walk to Slim Mahogany. Matt Gamble will watch strike 3 go by. Finally out of this one. California leading by 5. An overhit a while ago? Yeah. Flamingos coming up. Sean Spencer batting against Monjeans. A leadoff single will put a runner aboard for the Flamingos. Lionel McScallywags. Opposite field knock will make it 2 on with nobody out. Puts the tying run in the hole for the Flamingos. Maxwell, 6-4. They'll just take the fielder's choice at second. Runners on the corners now for Moonshot. Has a home run already today. Drives it well into center field. It is gone! A 3-run home run for Moonshot. His second dinger of the day. And that draws Florida within 2. We've still got a ball game. Ozzie Batty bats against Jensen Wild. And the strikeout is notched. Ryder, ground ball to first, taken to the bag by Voss himself. Dwal Ing will lead off against Schmebelgopsbungus. 4-pitch walk issued to the catcher. 6-4, double play. Bachman grounds it over to short, and it'll be 2 outs. Theodore Batsmith up. Slow roller over to the second baseman. He'll flip it to first for the out. Last chance now for the Flamingos. Who will the Firehawks send up to try and hold this 2-run lead? Jay Armbandor will enter. Miles Phoenix has a leadoff knock, though. The tying run will come to the plate. It's Peyton Shoelace. I believe already has an extra base hit today. Fly ball to left. Won't be the hero. 1 out, 1 on for the Flamingos' Johnny Golden. He has a home run. Gives it a good ride to right center, but nothing doing. Last chance now for Florida. Sean Spencer checks his swing, but he goes around. Strike 3. That will be the end of the game. California Firehawks winning 10-8 in a back-and-forth battle. Finally breaking it open in the 7th. Sorry we didn't catch your player there, Sodilan. But he did get the win. For the Firehawks did get the win. That being given to Oguri Cap. Hank takes the loss and the blown save. Moonshot is the player of the game with those 2 home runs. Unfortunately, Florida just couldn't make the most of those efforts. Boise wins it in extras over the Pathfinders 7-4. Armstrong the win, Boone the loss, Dumper the player of the game. The Crabs take it to the Surge 16-6. Warren Peace getting the win, Pollock the 5th the loss, Grail Traveler the player of the game. Sloths 5-4 over the Aviators. Rock the win, Kimura the loss, Crash the save, Goro Majima the player of the game. Extras needed for the Voyagers to defeat the Vandals. That looks like a walk-off slam. Yep, Roman Nicholas with a walk-off grand slam. The Toros tend to defeat the Stars. Martini the win, Boat the loss, Meredith the player of the game. The Demons 4-3 victory over the Space Rangers. Lore the win, Hunter the loss, Bear the save, Thor Lore the player of the game. The Apex shut out the Serps. Chicken the win, Obel the loss, Crunch Jr. the save, Calm Chicken your player of the game. The Rougarous will win 7-2 over Death Valley. Multi-pitch the win, Whitman the loss, Yordong the player of the game. We watched the Firehawks beat the Flamingos. The Kingpins will defeat the Swifties 4-2. Slickfingers the win, Kirkland the loss, DeWorm the save, Lord Slickfingers your player of the game. The Bears 11-7 over the Hepcats. Said another way, that is 7-11. Go get yourself a Slurpee. Sinclair the win, DeVar the loss, career minor leaguer your player of the game. The Wheelers get the go-ahead run in the top of the 9th to defeat the Dillos. Schulmeyer the win, Beckham the loss, Nurple the save, Komatsu the player of the game. And finally, the Lemurs with a tight win over Puerto Rico. Gambit ahead the win, De Nostradam the save, Kasane Teto your player of the game there. We'll advance to the 8th. Let's do... I don't know. We'll quick sim 3 days here and see where that puts us. The Pathfinders 7-3 over the Voyagers. Kitmaker the win, Long Pipe the loss, Kitmaker player of the game. The Surge shutting out Boise. Duds the win, Jazz the loss, Duds the player of the game. Aviators defeat the Crabs 7-1. Kingman the win, Malbec the loss, Ruiz Jr. player of the game. Vandals 5-2 to defeat San Antonio. Beans the win, Erickson the loss, Greep the save, Andy Beans the player of the game. Nashville 10-7, mostly scored in a 6th run top of the 6th there. Takahashi the win, at best the loss, Khan the save, Renier the player of the game. Lunar Base needs extras to overcome the Apex. Brant the win, Burgo the loss, Ifakarta your player of the game. Death Valley survives a late charge by the Demons to win it in extras. Velo the win, Cologne the loss, Remy LeBeau your player of the game. Seattle picks up their 4th win of spring training, 4-2 over Cancun. McQueen the win, Lee the loss, Moncrief the save, Majiro McQueen your player of the game. Down to the minors, Kansas City walks it off in the 10th over the Lemurs. Casmo the win, De Nostradam the loss, Hollows your player of the game. Anchorage improves to 500, 5-3 over State College. Winner the win, Rice the loss, Kid the save, Taylor your player of the game. Kingpins, a 1-run win over the Ranas, 3-2. Gorshal the win, Cracky the save, Gorshal your player of the game there. The Firehawks need extras, but they overcome the Dillos. Let's see, Woods got in that one. Pitched 1 scoreless with a couple strikeouts. Was that I assume that's the debut? No, also appeared in the April 5th game against Brew City. So 2 innings of work, no runs allowed thus far. Not bad. Not bad, rookie. But yeah, 3-2 for the Firehawks. Chamberlain the win, Elmer the loss, Callaway the save, Foe the player of the game. The Bears hit the go-ahead run in the top of the 9th to beat the Flamingos 2-1. Sendai the win, Hank the loss, Bear the save. That is Kaleidoscope King, your player of the game. Go ahead and save, advance to the next day. Quick play, a couple more days here. The Crabs not scoring 15 in any particular inning, just spreading it out over the whole game as they defeat the Vandals. Crabulo the win, Nasty the loss, Mayfeld the player of the game. Sloth shutting out in New York. Chad Inningseater gets the win. Definitely not Evil Dictator loss. Inningseater player of the game. The Surge wins 7-3. Robodibble gets the win. Park the loss. Okolon the save. Mac and Cheese the player of the game there. The Raptors 6-4 to defeat Outer Banks. PKVS reigning pitcher of the year gets the win. Holiday the loss. Chingus the save. PKVS the player of the game. The Rougarous get their runs scoring done late as Bernard gets the win. DeFreeze the loss. Yordong the player of the game. The Demons 3-2 over Nashville. Pythagoras the win. Kingdom the loss. Van de Hat the save. Pythagoras the player of the game. The Toros 6-1 over the Apex. They draw even in record this spring. Calgill the win. Smidius the loss. Benico the save. Calgill your player of the game there. Lunar Base, a 12-0 shutout of the Scorpions. Express the win. Vada the loss. Express the player of the game. Wheelers beat the Ranas 9-3. Rosado the win. Jackson the loss. Rex Jordan the player of the game. 8-4 victory for California over the Swifties. Dude Man gets the win. Person the loss. Honcho, your player of the game. Bruce City defeats Amarillo 5-3. Zensky the win. Edgecombe the loss. LaFaro the save. Osmal the player of the game there. Kansas City 2-1 over the Flamingos. Buster gets the win. Kennedy Seen the loss. Pines the save. Matt Buster, your player of the game. And the Lemurs get the best of the Kingpins in walk-off fashion. Finch the win, DeWorm the loss, and that is Golden King, the player of the game. Yeah, Firehawks are doing great thus far. Best record in the minors for spring training? Yeah. Doing very well. Let's see. So we watched the one on the 7th, so let's quick sim one more here. The Voyagers win it in 10 over the Surge. Montreal the win, Buffalo, Bird the loss, McFlourish the save, Tonica your player of the game. The Crabs draw even with the Sloths, 4-3, walk-off fashion there. Ichiban Kasuga the win, Nilliam the loss, Stetson Laramie the player of the game. Aviators, 2-1 over Toronto. Sun the win, Boone the loss, Kimura the save. That's Sniper King player of the game? Yes. Boise walking off the Vancouver Vandals. Jocker the win, Ramirez the loss, John the player of the game. Champions Conference, Toros get their 12th win, 7-0 over the Space Rangers. Smoltz the win, Etef the loss, Solo the player of the game. Detroit 5-1 over Seattle, McGoatface gets the win, Richards the loss, McGoatface the player of the game. Death Valley score their runs early and don't look back, 4-3 over Nashville. Rousey the win, Con the loss, Velo the save, Guy Rousey your player of the game there. New Orleans 2-1 despite a late rally from the Apex. Manzer gets the win, Quads the loss, Tom the save, Griff Manzer the player of the game. Down to the Miners, Florida 3-2 over Louisville. Puck the win, Huggins the loss, Key Largo the save, Huggins your player of the game. The Dillos improve to 500. Hightower gets the win. Jakob Jingleheimer Schmidt the loss. Ray Quazza the player of the game there. The Ranas defeating the Firehawks. Having nice little inverted records there. 12-6 to 6-12 now. Healer the win. Keelhauer the loss. Moon the save. Healer the player of the game. Kingpins draw even with the Wheelers at 500. 6-3. DeWorm the win, Buse the loss, Rattlesnake the save, Femhausen the player of the game there. And finally, the Swifties walk it off in the 10th, 5-4 over the Bears. 2 the win, Paps the loss, and Lee Tattersall the player of the game. All right, let's see if we can't find a teams and the champions to take a look at. Who have we not seen much of? I think we've watched a bit of Lunar Base. We watched them a bit last time. Seen much of either of these two teams? No, I think we did watch the Scorpions. We might have watched the Serps as well. Oh, I don't actually think... Might have watched a little bit of Indy. I don't know, actually. I know we haven't watched much of Detroit. Didn't watch these two. Not today. I'm trying to think what we did on Thursday. I'm trying to remember if we've seen the Apex. Hang on. Gorshaw on the Kingpins. Do they have you in the rotation out of curiosity? They do. Ooh, okay. Who do y'all play? Let's see. So you'd play Bruce City, and then I don't think we've watched a ton of Bruce City. No, I don't think so. Okay. All right, well, here's what we'll do then. We'll pick a Champions team to watch. We'll pick a Champions matchup to watch today. And then on the 12th, we'll catch the Kingpins and Bears because Gorshall's going to be pitching, and Gordo's in chat, so we'll get that. We'll get him some airtime. And then we'll figure it out from there. So what we'll do, I know we've watched the Toros. I know we've watched Lunar Base. I'm pretty sure we've watched one of these two. So let's do Apex Demons for today. Next game have 12 plus runs. I'm going to go and throw 500 on yes there. Yeah, as you can see, hitters are getting a bit tired, but so are a lot of the, once you get past these starters, you're going to have very tired bullpens. So crazy things happen in spring training. Give it a minute here. Also, take the opportunity to drink some water. Sure, I don't fully lose my voice again. I didn't end up fully losing it. I stream with a friend of mine, and we streamed like that Friday morning after the so I streamed here Tuesday, and then we streamed Friday morning. My voice was a little sore, but it wasn't bad. Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and get us started, and probably close the pred like in the first or something. We will have Thorlor on the bump, pitching to Esteban Santos Garcia to lead us off here. Garcia drawing a leadoff walk from the right-hander. Garcia going for first and making it on the check swing from Fernandez Jr. And going for third now. Not able to get the throw there in time is Biff Slamus. So runner on third already. Fernandez Jr. will strike out looking at the cutter from Lore. Kinley cuts and misses at the screwball, down on 3 pitches there. And Leon Rosenthal, ground ball. So the speed from Garcia goes to waste as he's stranded on third. Calm Chicken will pitch to Zach Johnson III, who has himself a leadoff extra base hit, standing on second. So another leadoff runner in scoring position. Can the Demons do anything with it where Indy could not? Bouncing away from Rosenthal, but able to smother it. Sean down the first base line, past the right fielder. A stand-up double for Sean, back-to-back for the Demons, and they are on the board early. Alpha Nerd coming up. Gives it a good ride into right field. A hard-hit single. Makes it a double. Good speed from Nerd there, well judged. So 2-0 now on back-to-back-to-back doubles from the Demons. Dollarson finally ends the parade by striking out. Zen Bobrist will get the line moving once again with a single, and then kicked by the center fielder, Santos Garcia. So a single and then an extra base allowed on the error by the center fielder there. So another understanding on second for the Demons, as Sidney Johnson will ground out 6-3. Allaire coming up, ground ball past her counterpart for a single, heading for second on the throw to home. Detroit leading 4-0 early in this game. Gashishizuka fly ball into right will finally stop the bleeding, but the damage done, 4-0 in favor of Detroit. Brian Payne will stand in and swing and miss at one that just caught the top of the zone. Thorlor strikeout number 3 for the day. Bab Iverson pulls it to the right side of the infield and has a single. Brent Goldberg, a bloop single falling right in front of the right fielder. 2 on, 1 out for Theodore Geisel, the left fielder. Gets a walk from Thorlor. Bases loaded now with 1 out for Clement Kamenik. Fly ball, line drive to the left, not deep enough to score the run. That will now be bases loaded, 2 outs. But a chance for Santos Garcia to be a hero here and tie this game with 1 swing. Can he do so? Well, we'll draw a 4-pitch walk. That gets him closer. Keeps the bases loaded, puts a run on the board. D. Fernandez Jr. Fly ball to right. Caught by ZJ3. But Indy draws closer. Journey of 4 runs begins with 1. Or something to that effect. Biff Slamus taps it back to the pitcher for out number 1. Back to the top now for the Demons. Zach Johnson third had a leadoff double last time up. This time a ground out to short. Bob Ipperson making that play. Sean, the changeup just catching the outside of the zone there. Chicken notches a strikeout. Edward McKinley coming up. Well struck line drive to center, but there for the play is Bobrist. Rosenthal takes strike 3 low in the zone. Brian Payne also down looking as Thor Lore strikes out the final 2 of the inning. Bottom of the 3rd now. Demons have the heart of their order coming up. Slow roller over to first. Taking it to the bag himself is Payne. Danger Dollarson, the only member of this Demons order that isn't tired, but it will be a fly out to right center nonetheless. Bobrist well struck toward the gap and falls in right at the warning track. Going for 3 is Bobrist and sliding in, making it. Bobrist with the triple. So it's coming up. Runner on third. Sidney Johnson puts it down in center field and answering back that run in the top of the 2nd with 1 in the bottom of the 3rd, restoring the 4-run lead. Allaire coming up, 1 on 2 outs. Well struck to the wall in left field. Going for home is Johnson. No throw, or offline throw it looks like. So an RBI double for Sidney Johnson. Detroit now leading 6-1. Captain Crunch Jr. will enter for the apex. A little swinging bunt from Shizuka will be handled by the catcher and tossed to first for the final out. Bob Ipperson in for the apex. Legs out an infield hit. Nice diving stop by Johnson to prevent that from becoming anything more. Goldberg, 4-6-3, double play! So the runner is erased, and it's still a 5-run lead for the Demons. Excuse me, make that a 4-run lead as high and deep into left center field, Theodore Geisel. 6-2 now the score, with the apex having a slightly less significant hole to climb out of now. Clement Kamenik, the 0-1 count, puts it down in shallow left for a 2-out base hit. Back to the top, can Santos Garcia keep things moving along, keep a 2-out rally going, roller over to second base. That will be Johnson flipping it to first for the 3rd out. Bottom of the 4th now, Demons looking to answer back. Biff Slamus has a leadoff extra base hit into the left center field gap. Slides into second base. Seen this leadoff double before. Zach Johnson III coming up 1 for 2 on the day. Stays 1 for 2 and getting a free pass to first. Crunch Jr. still on the mound for the apex, striking out the DH Ravon Shawn. Striking out the first baseman Alpha Nerd. Can he strand the 2 base runners? Ground ball, hard hit to short, thrown over to second base. Bob Ipperson to Fernandez. The leadoff double and the walk, not able to do anything for the Demons on this occasion. Thor Lore is still pitching for the Demons, getting a ground out from D. Fernandez Jr. Edward McKinley, the outfield shifted a bit, left field able to make that play in left center. Leon Rosenthal drives this one well to the gap, almost leaves the yard off the top of the wall. That'll be a double for the catcher. 2 outs, runner in scoring position for Payne. Ground ball, diving play by the shortstop. Nice glove work from Allaire there. That will end the inning. Zen Bobrist will stand in. Captain Crunch still in over the heads of 2 jumping infielders. A leadoff single. Sidney Johnson ground ball, 6-4-3, double play. So erasing another base runner. Detroit not necessarily missing it, but they would love some insurance runs. Things get crazy in spring training as Allaire is retired on strikes. Thorlor issuing a leadoff walk at Bab Ipperson's feet. Goldberg will be retired on strikes. Some bum named Aria Blue Sky will enter for the Demons, getting a slow grounder from Theodore Geisel and a fielder's choice at second. And Kamenik will fly out to right as the Demons maintain their lead 6-2. Gashishizka batting against Crunch Jr. still. Long relief for the right-hander there. Shizka has a leadoff single. Going for second and making it is the left fielder as Slamus stands in. And gets a walk from Crabton Crunch. Looks like it just caught the zone there, but ump didn't see it that way. ZJ3 popped up in the infield. They'll call the infield fly. Batter is out. Sean on the ground, 4-6-3 double play, and that will retire the side. Promising inning for the Demons. They maintain the lead by 4, but they may have wanted more from that. Garcia cuts and misses on the screwball from Blue Sky. D. Fernandez Jr. ground ball to his counterpart will be out number 2. Kinley on the 2-0 fly ball into shallow right and handled by ZJ3. A clean 1-2-3 inning there. Heading through the stretch, Ali Damro will pitch for the Apex. Alpha Nerd fly ball into right is handled by McKinley. Dollarson ground ball up the middle for a base hit. 1 out, 1 on now for Zen Bobrist. Has 3 hits on the day. Make that 4 for 4. As that will be a single, and advancing to third is Dollarson. Cornered runners now with 1 out for Sidney Johnson. DP'd last time up 4-3. They'll allow the run to come across at home. Didn't try to turn 2 there. Adrian Allaire looked like it might have gotten to the gap, but just hung up a bit too long. It gave Keisel plenty of time to make the play. But a run on the board, 5-run lead for the Demons. Brad Vandehat will enter to pitch. Leon Rosenthal grounding out to second base. Brian Payne, a fly ball into center, will be handled by the center fielder Bobrist. Bab Ipperson draws a walk on the inside fastball. Goldberg down the right field line. A hard throw from Johnson, the third, will hold Bab Ipperson at second. And Geisel cuts and misses on the forkball. Ooh, forkball. That's kind of a rare choice for pitchers. Love to see it. Felix Burgo will enter for the Apex. Line drive to first base there. Nice snag by Payne as Shizka's retired. Slamus hits it right to first base again. Payne unfortunately not able to come up with it on this occasion. Slamus will have a single. ZJ3 walked over to first base by Burgo. 2 on 1 out. 4-6-3 double play. So once again, a couple base runners, but not able to do anything with them. Last chance though for the Apex. Spencer Bear entering to lock this game down. Leadoff single from the designated hitter, Kamenik. Espen Santos Garcia coming up. Swing and a miss. Spencer Bear notches a strikeout. Runner on first. The tying run not even in the hole just yet. 3-6. Just going to be the fielder's choice. Not able to get it back to first in time. And McKinley will swing and miss on the inside fastball. Buzzed the tower there from the looks of it, but it's still a strikeout. Bear locks it down. 7-2 victory for the Demons over the Apex. Win given to Thor Lord, chicken charged with the loss. Player of the game is Zen Bobrist. Round the league, Crabs also a 7-2 win, but needing the top of the 9th to tie it and the top of the 10th to score 5 and win it over the Voyagers. Random the win, McFlourish the loss, Peace the player of the game. Vandals also needing extras to defeat the Pathfinders 7-4. Sheet the win, Boone the loss, Ramirez the save, Rishikesh the player of the game. The Raptors will defeat San Antonio 5-2. Melo Jr. the win. Stover the loss. Izzo the save. Melo Jr. the player of the game. Aviators 8-5 over the Surge. Mathis Hendry gets the win. Sears the loss. Martino the save. Patrick Eschenbaugh, your player of the game there. Stars win 8-6 over the Lunar Base Space Rangers. Boat the win. Hunter the loss. Reacher the save. Munson the player of the game. Toros 6-3 to defeat the Rougarous. Martini the win. Multi-pitch the loss. Benico the save. Stone the player of the game. We watched Demons Apex. The Sea Serpents draw even with the Scorpions 3-1. Obel the win. Whitman the loss. Needfeld the save. Obel the player of the game. In the minors, Florida 7-2 over the Dillos. Very common score today from the looks of it. D gets the win. Man the loss. Tremonti the player of the game. The Firehawks shutting out the Kingpins 4-0. Unit the win. Slickfingers the loss. Unit the player of the game. Wheelers 9-6 over the Lemurs. Winner the win. King the loss. Schulmeyer the save. Lenity the player of the game. Swifties 12-7 over the Hepcats. Kirkland the win. Devar the loss. Tofophilia player of the game. And finally, the Ranas walk it off in the bottom of the 10th. LBG the win. Paps the loss. Trenton the player of the game. We'll advance, and if I have my scheduling right here, yep, it'll be Rory Gorshaw starting for the Kingpins today. Against Kaleidoscope King, second-year starter for the Bruce City Bears. Yeah, looks like it's gonna be a fun matchup here. I'll give a minute for that prediction to run. Get some water, check my messages, make sure no one's yelling at me for anything. Alright, how we doing? I'll match Ben stacking paper. Make it a even bet there. Let's get things started here in just one more second. So we'll get Kaleidoscope King on the mound to start us off. Obo Femhausen leading off for Chicago. Put it on the ground to second base. The play made at first. Akiyama to Tori. Ben stacking paper the second. Hard hit ground ball to the right side of the infield for a single. First base runner of the day, Sparky D, will strike out on 3 pitches. King notching his first of the day on the fastball. Joe East, slow roller to second. They'll get the out at first. That will retire the side. So a hit, but nothing doing for Chicago. Rory Gorshaw on the bump, striking out Swiffer Sweeper, getting him to chase one that just barely caught the outside corner of the zone. Akiyama grounding out on the first pitch to third base. Conservatory well struck to center, but therefore it is King. So a clean 1-2-3 inning for the Fireballer. Bobby McDonald will lead off with strikeout, as King also getting a strikeout here. Curtis Wilson, ground ball to third, is handled by Digital. Showtime Jones, a slow roller, no play able to be made. Nice show of speed from the shortstop. Let's see if he'll go for second. Will not. Instead, chopper to the pitcher. Will be another infield hit. Lazarus King. So 2 on with a pair of infield hits, and then a walk issued to Puckle Nuck. A 2-out rally here. Knobo Femhausen makes something happen here. Swing and a miss, strike 3. King gets into a jam, but gets out of it. It'll be career minor leaguer leading off the bottom of the second. Ground ball to first, flipped over to Gorshaw for the out. Sayun Sky diving stop by short, and the play made. Showtime Jones showing the legs and showing the glove. And O'Shaughnessy retired on the inside slider for strike 3. Ben stacking paper up will have a textbook leadoff single put into left field. Sparky D up with 1 on, driven high, driven deep. It is gone to left field. Chicago taking the lead. It's a 2-0 game against the Brew City Bears. Joe East on the 0-2 count gives it a good ride to center field, but not deep enough as Sayun Sky is under it. Bobby McDonald will swing and miss on the circle change. 2 outs on the 0-2 count now for Corey Wilson, ground ball to third, and the play made at first. Bottom of the Bears order coming up. Agnes Digital at the plate now after pitching last season. Will be retired on the fly ball to right. Yes, no. Fly ball into center field. There for the play is Laz King. And Osmal will be retired on strikes. Perfect first time through the order. Kingpins up now with the 2-0 lead. Well struck into left, trying to stretch it to a double. And gets it. Showtime Jones really flashing his legs today. Just doing everything for the Kingpins. Running, hitting, and fielding. Lazarus King will put it down in center. Be runners on the corners with nobody out for Puckle Nuck. Popped up in the infield into foul territory and caught by, I believe that was Trevor Torrey making the play there. Femhausen aboard with a walk. Bases loaded with 1 out now for Ben stacking paper. Nope, instead it'll be TJ George coming in. He'll have a station-to-station single to extend the Kingpin lead to 3. Sparky D up had a home run last time up. He'll get walked this time by Kaleidoscope King for another RBI and a 4-run lead for the Kingpins. Joe East deep to right field, dying at the track though. It'd be a sac fly, but it could have been more. Just missed that one. Fly ball to right will be out number 3 from Bobby McDonald. 3-run inning for the Kingpins. It's 5-0. Swiffer sweeper up. Gorshaw still on the bump. Gets a ground ball to short for an out. Sweeper hitting it to his counterpart, Jones. Ground ball from Akiyama. Another play made by the shortstop. Trevor Torrey hits it to the other side of the infield this time, but will find Wilson to make the play. We're through 4. It's 5-0 for the Pins. Corey Wilson will cut and miss on the circle change. Kaleidoscope King, 90 pitches now, pitching to Jones. Has himself a 3-for-3 day now. I believe what does he have? I believe 2 singles and a double. Itri Lachkar will enter as a pinch hitter and be retired on strikes. Marco Starr also inserted to pinch hit and retired on 3 pitches. Career minor leaguer batting against Gorshaw still, and no-hitter broken up in the bottom of the 5th as minor leaguer is aboard. Sayun Sky, ground ball for 6. Not going to be able to turn 2 here. Calvin O'Shaughnessy, fly ball to right center, but hangs up a bit too long. Therefore, the play is Lachkar. Agnes Digital puts it up the middle on 2 outs. trying to get the play at third, but safe is Sky. So runners on the corners, 2 outs. Can they break up the shutout here? Yes, no. Pops it up in the infield. Over for it is the second baseman, Pookie Gambles. That will retire the side. 5-0 still for the Pins. Kaleidoscope King still in this game as Femhausen grounds out unassisted to the first baseman, Sackboy. Toby Rodrigo tries to check his swing, but he offered. Strike 3. Sparky Diop has a home run already today. Well struck, but not going to have distance on it. 1-2-3 down for Chicago on that occasion. Gorshall picking to Osmal. High and deep. Over the wall by just a hair. Mike Osmal getting the home run, putting a run on the board for the Brew City Bears in the 6th. Still have a 4-run hole to dig out of, though. Top of the order now for the Bears. Sweeper deep to right, but therefore it is the right fielder, Rodrigo. Boomian Stitcherson inserted as a pinch hitter, works a walk from Gorshall. Sackboy retired on the low splitter. And Handle All These Nuts puts it down in right field. The throw to third is not in time. Runners on the corners with 2 outs for Sayun Sky. On the ground, second base gathers it. Play made at first. It'll just be the solo home run for the Bears in terms of run scoring. We're through 6. Chicago leading by 4. Joe East, ground ball to short, will be out number 1. Kevin Williams pitching for the Bears now. Bobby McDonald, the designated hitter, up and puts it down in left center for a base hit. 1-on-1 out for Bobby Miza. Cuts and misses on the high cutter. Showtime Jones will watch as Bobby McDonald successfully steals second base. Can he be the hero once again? Slow roller over to first, flipped to Williams, and that is out number 3. Not a perfect day for Jones, unfortunately. Hunter Kratky will enter for the Kingpins following a brilliant 6 innings from Gorshall. Shaughnessy is aboard and picked off by Kratky. So the runner erased a key base runner as we get later in this ballgame. Digital with her second base hit of the day. Yes, no, retired on strikes. That's Joe East framing that pitch well. That was low and inside. But Osmal will be retired on strikes as well. Kingpins, Itri Lashkar facing off against Freddie Fordham will have extra bases as that one finds the wall in left center. Pookie Gamble's coming up. A walk, low and away. So 2 on with nobody out now for Femhausen. 0 for 3 thus far for the leadoff hitter. 6-4, just going to be the fielder's choice. A productive out, though, as that moves an insurance run to third with just 1 out. Toby Rodrigo, ground ball offline, trying to get the out at home. So that will be an error charged to the second baseman. That is Stitcherson. And a run scoring for Chicago. Slow roller to third from Sparky D will advance the runners to scoring position, but be a ground out. And then a wild pitch from Freddie Fordham will score the run from third, advance Rodrigo over to third himself. Joe East diving stop by second, and infield hit, legs it out, the catcher does. So that'll be another run scored for the Kingpins. They extend the lead to 7. Bobby McDonald on the ground to the right side of the infield. They keep the line moving. Bobby Miza on the ground, finally able to flip it to Fordham at first to retire the side. But a lot of damage done in that inning when it felt like it should have been over pretty quick. Swift for sweeper puts it a line drive on the ground in right field for a leadoff single. Stitcherson, ground ball to first, is taken to the bag unassisted by D. Runner now on second for them, though. Sackboy, well struck to center, but not able to make anything productive from it. All these nuts, runner on second, 2 outs. Third baseman gathers it, throws it over to D at first for out number 3. Big hole for the Bears to climb out of in the bottom of the ninth if they're capable. Rufus Lafaro will pitch to try and make sure that hole doesn't get any bigger, striking out Showtime Jones on 3 pitches. Latchgar up. He'll head to first on the inside circle change. Buki Gambles will head back to the dugout on the outside sinker. Femhausen will head to first on the low inside slider. We're going to keep these 3 true outcomes, so I'm going to put it in play. Rodrigo pops it up down the first base line, and the out is made. So, 7 runs. Can the Bears do anything with that? Rattlesnake will enter to finish this game off if he can. Saiyan Sky line drive snagged out of the air by Gambles. Calvin O'Shaughnessy, hard liner coming in for it is the center fielder Latchgar, though. Final out now. Agnes Digital standing in 2 for 3 on the day. Make that 2 for 4 on the 4-3 putout. The Chicago Kingpins 8-1 over the Bruce City Bears. The win will be handed to Gorshall, with King taking the loss. You player of the game, Rory Gorshall. Perfect, I believe, through 4, allowed the first hit in the 5th, if I'm remembering right. Or the 6th? I'm not remembering correctly. I'm not sure how I'm remembering it. Very good outing, though, for Gorshall. No matter how you look at it, very good outing. Let's look through the rest of the minor league games first. The Swifties also only allowing 1 run on the day. Rice getting the win, Fox the loss. Rice the player of the game as they defeat the Flamingos 6-1. The Firehawks 7-4 walking off the Wheelers, presumably with a 3-run home run. Yes, off the bat of Ashton Fox. Chamberlain the win, Okonomowak the loss, and Fox the player of the game. The Dillos 6-2 win over the Lemurs, scoring all those runs in the 2nd. Foe third the win, Harper the loss, Blake Foe the third, your player of the game there. And the Ranas defeating the Hebcats, Vandals the win, Hollows the loss, Gerard the save, Vandals the player of the game. Let me save, and we'll head up to the Majors games. Raptors 9-3 over the Crabs. Jazz the win, Malbec the loss, Baltz the player of the game. Aviators 5-1 over the Voyagers. Kingman the win, Long Pipe the loss, Kingman the player of the game there. The Sloths will defeat Pathfinders 9-4, Esquire Limited the win, Dup the loss, Press Duckley Jr. your player of the game there. Buffalo over Vancouver 9-2, Duds the win, Beans the loss, Lieutenant Duds your player of the game there. The Scorpions win 5-1 over Indianapolis. LeBeau gets the win, Lee the loss, Velo the save, Remy LeBeau your player of the game there. The Rougarous win a pitcher's duel over the Rangers, allowing just 2 hits over the Moonmen. Jackson the win, Brant the loss, Nasir the save, Dash Jackson the player of the game. Nashville 11-6 to defeat Seattle. Takahashi the win, McQueen the loss, and CJ Levine the player of the game on that occasion. The Toros walking off the Demons 5-4. Lizzie woohoo is your winner. Belfort the loss, and Danger Dollarson the player of the game. Save, and let's see. We've only got 4 more days, haven't we? Let's see. Who all we watched? I think we've watched 3 games so far today. If I'm remembering. No, 4. Because we've watched 1 from each conference and then 2 minor league games. Let's see. Tell you what, we'll quick sim the last few, and then we'll pick 1 more Majors game. The other minor league team we watched, let's see. So we watched California, and let's see, y'all played Florida, and we just watched Chicago and Bruce City. Also, was there a 4-run inning? There was not. We had a couple 3-run innings. When will game stats be updated? So index will be updated at the end of the stream. We sit and watch that and just chat for a bit while that updates. And unfortunately, you won't really be able to see your spring stats very easily because they don't count for player stats. The easiest way you can kind of see how you do is just pulling up the box score of the last game you play, and you'll be able to kind of see your overall spring stats there. Just like for hitters, you'll see your home runs and RBIs and your batting average. And for pitchers, you'll at least be able to see your ERA. I'm not sure what else you'll be able to see from there, though. But yeah, you can kind of look at the game log as well and kind of get an idea of how you did. Yeah, the only way to really see it is if you jump into the file. Wow, they really let him pitch 8 innings in spring training. That's crazy. Of how it's gonna go. Unfortunately, pitching in the minors is it's pretty chaotic. So there's a pretty wide range of what can happen. But what we'll do here, let's do. Okay, how about we pick just any majors game to look at, and then we'll do one more game on the 13th. We'll quick sim the 14th and 15th, and then we'll finish off spring training with one more live game. So who do we want to watch here? Who haven't we seen a bunch of? Did just already watch the Demons today, as well as the Apex. I think we... Oh. Oh. Things are happening here. Y'all want to see a pitcher hit? Y'all want to see a pitcher hit? The Stars, we have already seen the Apex today. I don't wanna do that. Let's see if there's. Okay, could also watch I think we watched the Sea Serpents on Thursday though. We also did watch the Toros there. So who haven't we? I don't think we've seen a ton of the Scorpions. You know what? Let's do. I think we have watched pretty much every team in the Champions. Tell you what, let's do Toros Scorpions. Because we all love pitchers hitting. And then we'll head up to the Legends for the final spring training day. We're definitely getting a little silly here, so I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do a little silly idea here too. We'll go sepia tone screen filter. And I'll try my best to call it like an old timey radio announcer. We're getting silly here. I mean, of course we've got pitchers hitting, so obviously that means this is no longer a DH league. Ignore that Slime Sluggerton. Ignore that DVS is running all their hitters. I personally hope we see a Lizzie Woohoo bomb. Prediction going on. Will this next game go into extras? I'll give that like 30 more seconds. Yeah, I'll leave BNN on though. No reason to turn that off. Over 1K on the 12-run run lost. Yeah, that'll happen. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. So it will be, it'll be Divide Bravado getting the start today, and Napoleon Solo leading off for the Cancun Toros. Oh my goodness! A pop fly from Napoleon Solo will be caught by their counterpart there. Miles Meredith cut down with the breaking ball from Divide Bravado. Griffin Stone gives this one a good ride into left field. See you later, baseball. A one-run lead now for the Cancun Toros. Griffin Stone rounds the bags. Carlton Beatty, the catcher, will come up. Ground ball over to shortstop and flipping it over to first base. Scorpions coming up to bat now in the bottom of the first. John Cowgill pitching for the Toros. Mello Mystere gives it a good ride, but a sliding catch from Jonathan Johnson. Good flash of the leather there. Ezekiel Montalban, a little swinging bunt there, but the catcher able to flip it over to first base on the very long plate appearance. Launch angle up, swing and a miss. John Cowgill blowing that one by a towering 97-mile-an-hour fastball. All right, a good bit for the voice. Tiernan O'Malloran, line drive over to shortstop will be caught for out number 1. Andrew Brochacho, the designated hitter, swing and a miss. That one way inside from Votto. Ill-judged by Brochacho on that occasion. Johnson popped up in the infield and caught a can of corn for Stell. Speaking of Stell, she'll be leading off here. Ground ball to second base, thrown to first for out number 1. Green Shilliquel fan retired on strikes, swinging at the inside circle change there. And Eucliffe will be retired on strikes. Jectocito coming up and heading over to first on the 4-pitch walk from Votto. Lizzie Woohoo bunting down the first base line, a sac bunt. Boo! Let Lizzie Woohoo swing. Boo! Do the voice the entire game. I can't do it, honestly. I was gonna try, but I don't think I can do it. Napoleon Solo walking over to first. Miles Meredith ground ball kicked though by the third baseman. Charged the air to Montalban. Its bases loaded with 1 out. Griffin Stone already has a home run today. Give him another RBI on a station-to-station single. Went golfing for that one. Look at that. That was in the other batter's box on the ground. Oh, no. Bad to worse for Death Valley as a wild pitch will let the runner score from third and advance the other 2 runners into scoring position. Carlton Beatty ground ball. Tries to get the out at home. They do. So preventing a run from scoring. Still be runners on the corners, though, for Tiernan O'Malloran with 2 outs. And that's going to the gap. That'll be extra bases. 1 runner will score. Will they send the runner at third? No. Beatty will be held up. Andrew Brochacho. Line drive down the left field line. Uh-oh, that's going to score 2 on the double from the designated hitter. Make it a 6-0 game in favor of the Toros. Jonathan Johnson on the ground up the middle will keep the line moving, though. Jectocito, another ground ball up the middle, another run scored. Runners on first and second now for Lizzie Woohoo. Gonna have to swing now. You can't give up an out on 2 outs. Swing and a miss, strike three. Retired on 3 pitches. Dennis Martinez comes in, gets the out. Bottom of the order up for the Scorpions. Yshtola Rule, slow roller to second, will be out number 3 there. Or out number 1 there, excuse me. Slime Sluggerton gives it a good ride to center, but caught. And Dalton Rose, ground ball to short, will be retired. Let me pause here. Let's get another. Ooh, saturated. Makes it kind of look like we've got some AstroTurf out there. Let's go with this for a few innings. Pauline Solo, well struck to left, but oh no, not caught. It's an error by the left fielder Rose. Meredith watches Napoleon Solo, makes the Scorpions pay for their error by getting himself into scoring position. Herself, excuse me. Meredith retired at first. Solo now standing on third. Another insurance run for the Toros there, possibly. Stone is walked over to first. Don't want to let him get his bat on the ball again, apparently. Diving play, not able to get it to second cleanly, and that will be an error charged to the Scorpions once again, and another run coming across for Cancun. Maurin will get a bloop single. Bases up the loading is what I was going to say. Not the way you're supposed to say that term. Brochacho coming up with the bases loaded. Puts it down in center field, station to station, an RBI single for Brochacho. Johnson coming up next. Ground ball 4-6. They'll just get the fielder's choice. Another run coming across. Even though it's spring training bullying Death Valley, they made 3 errors. It's not entirely y'all's fault. Launch angle takes it to the bag themselves. Cito's retired, and that is the end of the top of the 4th. Top of the order coming up for the Scorpions. Ground ball to second, flipped over to first for the first out. Ezequiel Montalban cuts and misses on the Calgill fastball for strike 3 and out 2. Launch angle coming up, had that put out to end the top of the 4th. Now has a single to break up the no-hitter in the 4th. Stell, ground ball on the hit and run play, but nothing doing there to retire the side. Lizzie Woohoo gonna have to swing this time. Ground ball to third. Doesn't get the hit. Sad. Pauline Solo on the ground to second. That will be out number 2. Meredith, 2 outs, nobody on. Ground ball up the middle. Dies, almost looks like it, lost all its momentum on the bag. Griffin Stone popped up into foul territory for out number 3. Green Chilical Fan on the ground. Down the left field line will have an extra base hit there. Death Valley threatening with the runner in scoring position now. Sting Eucliffe coming up. Driving out to center, but not able to advance the runner. Rule retired on strikes. Sluggerton, can he move the runner? No, stranded at second. Leadoff double, but nothing doing with it in the bottom of the 5th. Let's see. What other screen filters do we have? What's pencil drawing? No, don't like that one. Futuristic. Oh, that one's weird. Crayon. That one's a little dark. I like it. It's a little dark. Okay, standard black and white. Ooh, how about desaturated color? Make it feel like you're watching like early 2000s on your CRT. Carlton Beatty, ground ball too short, will be out number 1. Tierno Maurin, line drive into right field will be a single. Toros with 1 out. They're still threatening, though. Brochacho batting against Lanky Schramm. Line drive to center is handled by Rule. Jonathan Johnson, a line drive put down in front of center field. 2 on, 2 outs for Ejectocito. 1 for 2 already today. Make it 1 for 3 as Schramm notches a strikeout. Dalton Rose up for the Scorps. Cowgill collecting strikeout number 6 on the day. Mellow Mystere swing and a miss. Make it strikeout number 7 for Cowgill. Montalban well struck to left, but handled by Woohoo. Lizzie Woohoo leading off, popped up. Oh, and caught. So 0 for 3 for Woohoo on the day. May still get one more AB, though. So maybe we'll still get a chance to see the pitcher do something with the bat as Solo flies out to right. And Meredith cut down looking. Glenn Snaps will enter for the Toros as launch angle grounds out to their counterpart. Stell up, line drive past the jumping second baseman for a single. Greenshill fan, line drive down in right field, and that will be a double. Runners in scoring position with 1 out now for the Scorpions. Can they get something on the board? Sting Eucliffe coming up over the head of the second baseman. They get on the board, an RBI single from Sting Eucliffe. Runners on the corners now with 1 out for Ishtola Rule. Cuts and misses on the high screwball. Slime Sluggerton over the head of the second baseman. That'll put another run on the board. DVS drawing within 8 here. Things could get crazy. Don't count it all the way out. Dalton Rose. That'll load up the bases on the base hit. Mellow Mystere coming up. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Chase the outside screwball, and that will be that. Top of the 8th now. Griffin Stone swing and misses for strike 3. Lanky Schramm still on the bump for the Scorpions right now. Carlton Beatty, a base hit up the middle. Tierno Malren gives it a good ride into right field, but therefore the play is Eucliffe. Chacho, 2 outs with a runner on first. Line drive into center. Taking a step is Rule, and that will be the end of the top of the 8th. Scorpions have 2 innings to try and make something happen here. Montalban on the ground to third for the first out of the inning. Snap still pitching for the Toros. Launch angle ground ball past the diving shortstop. That's Solo there. Long plate appearance, and that will be scored an infield hit. No error, but just couldn't find a handle on that, Cito. 2 on, 1 out. Swishman will enter for Cancun. Diving stop, but not able to make the play. So another fielding miscue by the Toros here will load up the bases. Sting Eucliffe already has an RBI today. Ground ball to short. They'll get the out at home. Not able to turn 2, though. So preventing the run from scoring. Stoller Rule pops it up into foul territory. Ranging all the way over for it is Stone to make the play. Bottom of the order coming up for the Toros. Johnson, Cito, and woohoo! Johnson on the ground up the third base line, but handled and the play made by Montalban. Cito coming up, full count, ground ball to third, and the play made once again. Woohoo, the last time, the last chance. Can the pitcher make something happen? Swing and a miss, strike 3. Unfortunate. Sad. Slime Sluggerton will bat for the Scorpions against J.C. Swishman still. Tried to give it a good strike in the heart of the plate, but nothing doing. 4-3 ground out is his reward. Dalton Rose, first pitch swinging, will be on base. Still need 8 runs, however, to overcome this gap. Will be a fielder's choice. Scored a 1-6 put out. Montalban puts it down in center field for a single. 2 outs, 2 on. Can launch angle keep the line moving. Popped up in the infield. Coming in for it is the shortstop Solo. That will be that. Your final score, 10-2 in favor of the Cancun Toros. Your decisions: Cowgill the win, Votto the loss. John Cowgill, your player of the game, throwing 6 scoreless innings. Around the league, Krabs beat the Pathfinders 3-1. Random the win, Boone the loss, Iceman the save. Crabula, your player of the game there. The Surge will win 4-1 over San Antonio. Smith the win, innings either loss, Mondragon the save. Smith, your player of the game. Aviators 3-2 over Vancouver. Holiday the win, Nasty the loss, Martino the save. Doc Holiday, the player of the game there. New York 10-2 as well over Boise. Very similar to the game we just watched between Cancun and Death Valley. Evil Dictator the win, PKVS the loss, Moore the player of the game. Rougarous 4-2 over the Demons. Nasir the win, Blue Sky the loss as per usual. At Best the save, and McCheesy the player of the game. Sea Serpents 3-1 over the Space Rangers. DeFreeze the win, Express the loss, Moncrief the save. Ivy DeFreeze, your player of the game there. The Stars shutting out the Apex 6-0. Kingdom the win, Smidius the loss, Animal Kingdom your player of the game. Down to the minors, the Florida Flamingos with a late rally to overcome the Ranas. Zbungus the win, Phoenix the player of the game there. The Firehawks 6-2 over Louisville. Dude Man the win, King the loss, Univa the player of the game there. Aria bus player Blue Sky. No. You don't need to have the just kidding there. You don't need to have the just kidding. You can speak the truth here. It's a safe space for that. The Bears need extras to overcome the Wheelers 6-5. Games the win, Okonmawak the loss, and Stitcherson the player of the game. State College 5-3 over Amarillo. Person the win, Edgecombe the loss, Sills Crumblin the save. Man Person your player of the game there. And finally, all the scoring happening in the 9th. The Hepcats getting the better of the Kingpins 2-1. Slothbia the win, McCannon the loss, Poe the save, Matt Buster your player of the game there. We'll run through a couple more quick sims. San Antonio 4-1 over the Aviators. Horrendous Haddock the win, King the loss, Erickson the save. Horrendous Haddock the third, your player of the game. Toronto 4-2 over Boise. Grizz the win, Westbrook the loss, Boone the save, Stetson Mixon your player of the game there. Vandals can't do enough in the 9th to overcome the Voyagers this time around. Crookwell the win, John the loss, Kilgannon the save. Crookwell your player of the game. The Crabs need extras, but they will defeat the Surge 6-5. Costiga the win, O'Cologne the loss, Random the save, Hurry Quake the player of the game. The Demons walk it off in extras over Lunar Base. Cologne the win, Brant the loss, Goody McGoface your player of the game there. New Orleans 5-2 over Death Valley. Takahashi the win, Velo the loss, Bernard the save, and that's Curtis Jones your player of the game. The Apex shut out the Sea Serpents 2-0. Quads gets the win, Richards the loss, Flop Quads your player of the game. Nashville also a 2-0 shutout, this time over Cancun. Khan the win, Smoltz the loss, Reacher the save, Ultimo Khan the player of the game there. Down to the minors, California 6-3 over the Bears, Keelhauler the win, Chan the loss, Jeans the save. That is Johnny Hammersticks the player of the game. State College getting a win over the Lemurs 3-2. Tattersall the win, Huggins the loss, Mantix the save, Lee Tattersall the player of the game. The Flamingos surviving a late charge from the Kingpins to win 4-3. Puck the win, Time the loss, D the save, Knuckle Puck the player of the game. The Ranas winning a football game over the Dillos 13-10. Healer the win, Quaz the loss, Bobby Crew the player of the game there. And finally, the Hepcats winning 13-9 over the Wheelers with a that's got to be a walk-off slam, right? Yep, Dominic Castillon with the walk-off grand slam in the bottom of the 11th. Definitely not Kevin Choate the win, Nurple the loss, Dominic Castillon, the player of the game. Moving on, the 15th, just double checking, and the 16th, yep, is indeed the final day there. So one more quick sim day here. Boise 4-1 over Buffalo, Mello Jr. the win, Sears the loss, Armstrong the save, Mello Jr. your player of the game. The Crabs with a 10-0 victory over the Aviators, allowing just one hit over those 9 innings. Peace the win, Mathis Hendry the loss, Rochelle Morimura, your player of the game there. Vancouver 4-3 over the Sloths. Skumakun the win, venturing the loss, Greep the save. Atlas Slugs the player of the game. Voyagers walking it off over the Pathfinders. Is that a... Yeah, it looks like just some small ball to win it. Montreal the win, Dup the loss, Zaki the player of the game. Cancun defeats the Seattle Sea Serpents 9-4. Martini the win, Obel the loss, Miles Meredith the play of the game. Man of Steel home run, nice. Lunar Base 4-1 over Indianapolis. We need to go. I had something planned today. Wasn't going moderately. Hopefully everything is good. Yep, go for it. Thanks for helping out today. Enjoy your other plans. Hunter the win, Chicken the loss, Muffin the save, Matt Hunter the player of the game. The Stars walking it off with 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th there. That was probably a 3-run home run. Yep, by J.B. Rainier, our beloved Bazooka Joe. Dubois the win, Takahashi the loss, Tugboat the player of the game there. Death Valley shutting out Detroit 6-0. Another one-hitter performance. We had 2 of those today. Whitman the win, Laura the loss. Whitman is the player of the game there. Down to the minors, Bruce City, 3-0 shutout of the Lemurs, holding them to just 2 hits. Sinclair the win, King the loss, Freddie Fordham the save, and Sloan Sinclair the player of the game. 8-4 victory for the Firehawks over Kansas City. Unit the win, DeVar the loss, Ashton Fox the player of the game. The Ranas, another bit of a football score. 12 is a little more rare, but not unheard of. Over the Swifties, Trenton the win, Kirkland the loss, and that is Abram Johnson the player of the game. Flamingos 10-6 over Anchorage, Tremonti the win, Rosado the loss, Dan Thunder the player of the game. Finally, Amarillo at home, technically, 5-4 over the Kingpins. Komatsu the win, DeWorm the loss, Blahai the save, and that is TJ George, your player of the game there. All right, and finally, our final day. Who are we going to watch? I feel like we've seen a bit of these 2 teams already. I think we watched a New York game on Thursday. Already seen a Vancouver game today. Who did we watch earlier today? We watched Vancouver Buffalo, if I'm remembering right. Let's see. And I think... No, we actually watched Jigs Kingman start. So we'll go with New York and San Antonio to finish this off. We don't have a mod doing predictions, so I'll just take a swig of water and get us started on our last spring training game of S63. Let's just do regular screen this time. Don't need to do anything silly. Be Joshua Ohm III Esquire Limited on the bump, pitching to Roman Nicholas, and notching a strikeout to lead us off. Devontae Moore, the catcher, coming up on the 0-2 count, swings and misses, strike 3. Mansquatch will draw a walk, so not going to be 1-2-3 for Ohm III. Ground ball, though, from Henry Magic. They'll take the out at second to retire the side. Leonidas Longpipe will be pitching for the Voyagers and allowing a leadoff single to Press Duckley Jr. We know he likes to steal. He'll probably just go for it. No throw. So a free stolen base there for Press Duckley. Fly ball into right from player to be named later will be handled by Magic. Les Scoden watch as Press Duckley goes for third and makes it safely. Skoden on the ground to first. They'll flip it to the pitcher covering the bag, but a run scores on the ground out. So Duckley's speed making everything happen there, and a run is on the board for the Sloths as they take an early lead. Laramie retired on strikes, and that will be the end of the first. The Sloths up 1-0. Diego Ramirez will swing and miss at one that maybe caught the low outside corner. Adam Cole Bebe puts it down in right field for a base hit, though. 1-on-1 out now. A couple long plate appearances. Sorotanica coming up, watching Bebe go for second and make it. Stolen base 23 this spring. And bouncing away from the catcher will be a wild pitch charged to Ohm the third, and that'll be a runner on third, the tying run, in fact, with one out. Line drive to second will be handled. That's Majma making the play. Mihire, 2 outs, a little swinging bunt. They get the out at first, the run not able to score. So, a bit of trouble, but nothing doing for the Voyagers. Sloths get out of it. Turd Ferguson, the DH, coming up. Gives it a good ride into the right center field gap. Gets to the wall, and that'll be a sliding double for the designated hitter. Troy Monopolitsky is swing and miss, strike 3. Alan Greer, second verse, same as the first. Runner on second, 2 outs. Long pipe struck out 2. But allows a hit to go to Majima. Runner's forced to hold up at third, though. Run doesn't score. Comes down to Hickaprentice Haddock the third. A pitcher playing catcher. Crazy idea. Wow. Okay, Sloths. I see. Strikeout number 3 that inning. Griesbaum Kriestelhauser will get a leadoff knock for the Voyagers. What's up with the pitchers today? The players are getting tired. This is what happens in spring training in this league because we don't have very big rosters and we play 24 games in 25 days. Devontae Moore is retired on strikes. KVK standing on second here. Finding it interesting. This doesn't happen in the regular season. Don't worry. It doesn't get this crazy in the regular season. There's maybe like one time I can think of where like a team like played like 3 17-inning games back to back and were just like out of pitchers. There's only like one time I can think of where that's happened. So it doesn't happen often, barely at all. As Press Duckley Jr. flashes the legs for a triple. And then a wild pitch will allow that runner to come across. So Press Duckley Jr. really working the legs to keep San Antonio ahead. But remain later, popping out into foul territory. I don't think they were all 17-inning games, but it was like 3 long extra-inning games. I'm not remembering the season number anymore. But I know it was the Toros, and I can tell you like the rough era it was. It was when like Cancun's been on like a very long streak of contention, but it was like during the last rebuild. And it just had like Twitchy was still the GM way back then, and he had to like emergency sign like a couple of relievers. It was crazy times. Adam Cole Bebe swings and misses as we start the top of the 4th here. Tanaka ground ball over to third, and the play made at first. Can you take me higher? 2 outs, nobody on. Sends it over to the gap. Hasn't quite got the same speed he used to, but that'll still be extra bases. KVK, a well-struck ball into right field. Mihire making it home. It's a tie game here in the top of the 4th. Roman Nicholas popped up in the infield and caught. We're tied at 2 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. It'll be the 6, 7, 8 hitters coming up for the Sloths. Troy Monopolitsky, ground ball up the middle, will be a base hit. It's the go-ahead run standing on first base now. Alan Greer line drive to center field will be handled by Ramirez. Goromajima swinging a miss, strike 3. Let's see the pitcher get a hit. Strike 3. Unfortunate. Devontae Moore coming up. Gives it a good ride, high and deep, over the wall. That's a home run. Devontae Moore puts the Voyagers ahead for the first time today. Man, Squatch watches that one right down the middle, honestly. I know the play-by-play says nailed the outside corner, but, like, no, that was like, well in the zone. Henry Magic on the 0-2 count, right center field, it's gone! Another solo home run for the Voyagers, make that a 2-run lead for them. Ramirez down the third base line. We're still going here. That's going to be extra bases, a double for the center fielder. Adam Cole Bebe, a lazy fly ball into right, will be out number 2. Advancing to third and making it is Ramirez. Sirotanica, well struck over the wall, dead center field. What a shot from Isuro Tanaka, and make it a 4-run inning for the Voyagers off 2 solo home runs and a 2-run home run. Sloths will pull their pitcher, Carlos Crash, in now. Mihair keeps the line, keeps the inning going. And swing and a miss, strike 3. KVK is retired. But a damaging inning for the Voyagers. The Sloths now find themselves a 4-run hole to overcome. Long pipe still on the bump for the Voy Boys. Press Duckley Jr. will be retired for the first time today. Player to be named later, cuts and misses, strike 3. Les Godin, ground ball left side, scoots past the third baseman for a single. Stetson Laramie gives it a good ride. Over the head of the center fielder, though. That's going to be extra bases. And a run scored for the Sloths, cutting the deficit to 3 with a runner still standing in scoring position. Third Ferguson on the ground, scooting past the shortstop, rounding third, going home. Laramie makes it. They've cut the deficit in half this inning, still with the runner on second. Can Monopolitsky do something with it? Puts it down in left, rounding third, and heading back to third is Ferguson. But can Alan Greer keep the line moving? The tying run on base now for them. Up the middle, that'll draw them within 1. Put a runner on third once again. Oh, but he got greedy for second, Alan Greer. Alan Greer gets greedy for second and gets thrown out on the bases like a nincompoop. But they draw within 1, the Sloths do. Nicholas will have a base hit. Actual term, by the way. That's what Tootbland stands for. Thrown out on the bases like a nincompoop. Moore tries to bunt it, but pops it up, and that is caught for an out. And Mansquatch, 4-6-3 double play will retire the side. Goromajima leading off, and then a chance for Hiccup Hernandez Haddock the third to get a hit as a pitcher, as Romeo McFlourish will pitch for the Voy Boys. Majima retired on strikes. Come on, let's see the pitcher get a hit. You know what? He's on base. He's on base. That's a walk. He's on base. We'll take that. Press Duckley Jr. swings and misses. McFlourish gets him on high heat. And McFlourish balks! All right, Hernandez Haddock's in scoring position. Come on, player to be named later. Another balk! What? Okay then, 2 consecutive balks. But he'll still strike out, player to be named later. That we got wild times in the last day of spring training. Magic retired on strikes. Diego Ramirez also tries to check his swing, but he's rung up. And Nicole Bebe, shallow left, will be ranged out for by Greer, and the play is made. Heading through the stretch, everyone stand up, sing, take me out to the ball game, and then we're done. Les Scoden, fly ball into left, will be caught for an out. That's Squatch there to put the glove on it. Laramie's retired on strikes, had the shift on, but ended up being unnecessary. Turd Ferguson, high ball 4. Looks like it probably caught the zone there, but ump didn't see it that way. Nopolitsky on the ground to his counterpart at third. That will be out number 3. Got 2 innings of play left here. The Voyagers leading 6-5. Bottom of the order coming up, facing off against Ali Erickson. Siratonica flying out to center field. Can you take me higher? Score at F9, as that will be Press Duckley putting the squeeze on it. And Kreis von Christelhauser out to right field. A jumping play from player to be named later. Nice range there. A brilliant play, making sure New York can't get any momentum going. Chatty Johnson will enter. He's still in the league. Nice. Alan Greer will get a leadoff double. That's the tying run in scoring position with nobody out. Goro Majima up. Bounces away from the catcher, but able to gather it before anyone can advance. Majima retired on strikes. Chased one outside the zone. Swing and a miss for Horrendous Haddock the third. Of course, you don't really expect much from the pitcher hitting. And popped up by Press Duckley Jr. for the third out. Schlosser only going to have one more chance here. New York looking to get some damage done on William Nilliam. Devontae Moore on the ground to third and thrown over to first. Final out for the Voyagers here. Man Squatch up. Fly ball into center and a can of corn for player to be named later. Can San Antonio extend this game or even end it themselves? Or will it be the Voyagers getting the win on our final day here? Claudio Kilgannon will enter. High fly ball, high and deep left field. It's gone! Player to be named later. At least extending this game on a solo home run into the left field bullpen. Oh my goodness. Les Scoden will hit it to the gap. It'll be extra bases. He's going to represent the winning run in scoring position. Stetson Laramie coming up. Nobody out. Winning run on second. Make it winning run on third as that bounces away from Moore. Winning run 90 feet away. Driven into right. Is it deep enough to score? Won't send him. They'll play conservative. Turd Ferguson, the DH. They're going to walk him. Try and set up the double play from Monopolitsky. Over the head of the shortstop. And coming home on the RBI single from Monopolitsky is Les Scoden. A walk-off from the Sloths. Player to be named later ties it with the home run. And the rest of the team get the one run they need to win it. The Sloths, 7-6 over New York. We did have some really good games today. Those are good watches. Around the rest of the league, final day of spring training, the Aviators improve to 14-10 with 4-3 victory over Boise. Sun the win, Armstrong the loss, Martino the save, Jiggs Kingman the player of the game there. Surge defeat the Pathfinders 9-1, Duds the win, Kitmaker the loss, Duds your player of the game. The Crabs 7-6 over Vancouver as they lead the champions, lead the Legends in terms of record. Malbec the win, Beans the loss, Strider the save, Maury Murray your player of the game there. Nashville forces extras in the 9th to win it in the 10th, 5-3. Dubois the win, Bear the loss, Reacher the save, Takahashi your player of the game there. More extras as the Rougarous defeat the Sea Serpents 9-7 in an exciting one. Tom the win, Needfelt the loss, Takahashi the save, Jim Hawkins your player of the game there. The Space Rangers 7-5 over Death Valley, Brant the win, LeBeau the loss, Bumgardner the save, Duke Nukesum your player of the game. Cancun 7-4 to defeat the Apex, tying them for the best record in the champions with the Nashville Stars. Lee the win, Lee the loss, Swishman the save, Carl Beatty player of the game. Realizing that I'm going to need to be a little more specific here, that's Ryan Lee the win and Chiwei Lee the loss. So you played the last game of spring training? Sure, we'll take a peek here. The Firehawks 4-1 over the Firehawks. Let me try that one again. It's been a long stream. The Firehawks 4-1 over the Flamingos. Hammer 6 the win, Fox the loss, June the save. Hammer 6 your player of the game. Doesn't look like you were in that last one. Let's pull up and see where Dylan Woods game log. Yeah, you played the day before. Still 1 run allowed over how many innings pitched? 5 1/3. Not bad. That's pretty good showing for rookie spring training. Swifties 10-1 over Chicago. Rice the win, Gorshaw the loss, Rice the player of the game. The Bears survive a late charge from the Hepcats 9-7. King the win, Hollows the loss, Torrey the player of the game. Dillos beat up on the Wheelers 8-2. Foe the third is the winner. Mantle the loss, Blake Foe the third, your player of the game there. And finally, the Lemurs, a 2-0 shutout of the Ranas, will be our final game here. Harper the win, Scott the save, Harper the player of the game. Best record in the minors goes to the California Firehawks. Hey, blue line, Dillo. Go ahead and save here just to make sure we've got no more games, 17, 18, 19. And then, of course, the 20th, opening day, this coming Tuesday. Not sure who we have signed up for it at the moment. I can peek when we do the upload, but yeah, that'll do it for spring training. Everyone, make sure if you haven't already, get your updates in. You want to be the best player you can be when we get started. I'll go ahead and get the index started. Some Ask the Booth time. So what'd you all think? 24 games, 25 days. Might be a couple, honestly, might be a couple of the most kind of marathon streams I've done recently. Because it feels like I've just been doing nothing but talking about the games. And there's a lot of games to get through. You know, most regular season streams are, you know, you do like 8 or 9 days of the regular season, and you only really, you cover 5 stream games plus I don't know, 2 or 3 quick sim days. So yeah, this is kind of a lot to cover in spring training. These are actually, I think these are really the first spring training streams I've done. Let's see, any predictions for Dark Horse for the PBE majors this year? Here, let me pull up, because obviously I'm the kind of person who, like, has notes on it, especially since I set the lines for the PBE over-unders in the casino. Dark Horse in the majors? I don't know. I feel like the Champions is wide open. Railroaders for Dark Horse? Yeah. I feel like the Champions is wide open this year. I mean, I think your division winners are gonna be Nashville and Cancun. I think they're gonna run away with it up at the front. But I think, like, any team not named the Sea Serpents is gonna have a chance at the playoffs. And once you make the playoffs, anything can happen. I mean, look what happened this past season. Indianapolis, they had, like, when I ran tests for the playoff casino lines, They had like a 3% chance to win the World Series at the start of the playoffs. And look what happened. They won it. So I think the Champions is wide open. If you like force me to name a team, I don't know. I'll go with the Rougarous. I'll say the Rougarous are my dark horse there. I think they have a solid shot of making the playoffs, but it's a lot of competition, so there's no real guarantee. And then I think they'll get hot in the playoffs and make a run at it. Let's see. And then who do you think will win each championship based on what you saw in spring training? Why will it be the Ranas? I don't know. Providence had a good showing in spring. Nashville and Cancun both have a good shot at it. You know what? Let me actually look at league history. How long has it been since Nashville last won? It's been a minute. It's been this will be the 11th season now since they've won. I'll go with Nashville. I'll go with the Nashville Stars as my pick to win the Majors World Series here. You can lead the season from start because, of course, a relief pitcher will be a driving factor for a playoff run. I think. Here's the thing, though. Okay, here's the thing. Y'all are still running Joshua J at catcher. And it's like fine defensive catcher. Your pitching staff will like him well enough, but it's just like he can't hit. So then, like that's, I think y'all are also running like your fourth starter isn't great either, unless you still have someone to sign. It's a tough road for Seattle. I'll put it that way. It's a tough road. So top of the food chain these days in the majors. Providence is the front runner in the Legends. And then I'd say in the Champions right now, it's between Nashville and Cancun. But the Legends right now is it's very much biased toward the East. So it's going to be, the playoffs are very likely going to be Providence, Outer Banks, New York, and then whoever wants to win the West. Seattle has 5 pitchers over 200 TPE. I mean, very interesting way of saying that there's at least one. There's, yeah, exemplify the lack of depth. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not great. It's not a great situation. It's you know, there are emotes for it in Seattle locker room. There are emotes for it. Anyway, working my way back. Who will win the Minors Championship? I mean, Firehawks obviously look like they have a great shot at it. But minor league is chaos. You know, like anything can happen. Like what things look like right now, if you get the right waiver players and you develop the players you got in the drafts like really well and make sure you keep everybody active, you can have a rough first half and then turn it around and have a wonderful back half of the season, make a run at the World Series. Like anything can happen in the minors. Nothing is over until it's over. Let's see. Just answered that one. Nashville and King still running Gauntlet is crazy. Yeah, no. I mean, obviously, Cancun was my first team in the PBE, and Twitchy's just done an amazing job there. And then Nashville is, pretty consistently. They've got a very consistent, they'll have long periods of contention and then a little rebuild. I think that's still Zach and TJ running that team. And obviously they do a wonderful job as well. Yeah, Blue Line. The Ranas aren't all the way back yet. But in order to make it so they aren't just like a massive punching bag, any IAs the other minor league teams aren't using, will play for the Ranas just to make them a little more respectable. So they're very unlikely to make the playoffs still. Yeah, still bots and IAs, but not entirely bots anymore. Which is, it's worth something. The last, I haven't been paying attention to how like waivers have gone thus far for this draft class, but the last one, uh, the last draft class, we had a ton of waivers. So we had a huge S63 class, and then the S64 class. I'm not sure where we stand there, but fingers crossed. One day, bring the Ranas back. I know we've been saying that for unfortunately years now. Love to stop by here and there and don't have a player. I just I think that was this most recent class, wasn't it? Let me peek. Yeah, that was this most recent Hall of Fame class. Bass Reeves just got inducted into the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I would argue. Yeah, check that. We don't. I just recently kind of took over as like the informal Hall of Fame head. So there's a lot of like back inscriptions we need to work on. Um, so it won't. There's not an inscription on the form page for the Bass Reeves Hall of Fame page yet. But we'll get there. But 3-time MVP. I would go so far as to argue one of the players of his generation. Yeah, very very much deserving Hall of Famer. I think, other things I was updating. I want to say that's your isn't that like your third Hall of Fame player? Yeah, along with Blue Line and Inacio Encarnacion. Heck yeah. No, actually, I accidentally delayed stream by a few minutes because I was working on this Hall of Fame stuff, and it just got to like I looked at the clock and said it said 11:58 Central Time, and like the gears turned in my head. It's like I have to stream in 2 minutes, and I have done zero preparation for that. Yeah, how many people have at least okay, hang on. Discount non-player Hall of Fame inductions. Philip Pryor, Loki, yourself. Stream did go. It went well, yeah. So actually, that's a very exclusive group you've actually just joined there, Blue Line. You are one of 3 users to have 3 players in the Hall of Fame. It's you, Philip Pryor, and Loki. There are others who have like other like user and GM Hall of Fame inductions that push them above that like 3 line. But yeah, in terms of just player Hall of Fame, you're one of 3. Very very exclusive group there. All right, let's go ahead and get the index upload started. I suddenly feel very silly for how I've been pronouncing your username. I suddenly feel very silly for how I've been pronouncing Dylan's username. Been saying it Sodiland instead of So Dylan. I'm ooh okay. I'm just gonna sorry. All right. Yeah, no, just a little bug in the programming. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right, index is updated. Let me go ahead and post in game day here. All right. With all that said and done, that will be it for me. It's fine. Okay, good. Yeah, sorry. And yeah, that's gonna be it for spring training S63. Next time, let me pull up real quick who you can expect to be riding with for opening day. Looks like that's going to be AJ and Lone Star taking you through those festivities. So that's going to be a wonderful time. A lot of debuts. I believe usually whip around coverage there, so you'll see a bunch of games, bunch of players. Yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for me. End of spring training. See y'all for opening day. Yeah. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Good luck to everyone. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Yes, exactly. It'll take some time to build up TPE. It'll take some time to get up to the majors. Yeah, just don't get discouraged. Again, like I said, kind of near the beginning of the stream, like it's very much our community is like come for the baseball, stay for the community. I've made very good friends here. And it's just a wonderful community, and I hope everyone enjoys it. But yeah, everyone have a wonderful day, and have a wonderful season 63. Bye.